the South primary. One of the things I love about being here is that I think, the other day I was with Congressman Duncan. We did an event at one of the retirement areas, and we did another stop along the way. And every time I'm here, I recognize that voters here early on in the process take this very seriously. With 17 candidates, they're doing their homework. They're looking at the candidate's background. They're looking at the previous promises, and they're looking at their plans. And while there's a lot of national attention sometimes to some of the names that get the most attention, I think in the end, voters are going to look for someone that they can trust. And now, when we've got such a challenging time, both with the economy, the size and scope of the federal government, with our standing in the world, now is not the time to have someone who's untested. I think Americans are looking for someone who's been tested under similar circumstances. We saw the mistake that was made when America elected someone who had never been tested in an executive position before, when they elected Barack Obama. And I don't think they want to make that mistake again. And so I'm someone who has executive experience, who actually got things done, who fought, who won, who got results, and did it in a state, a blue state, without compromising common sense, conservative principles. I think voters here in South Carolina are looking for that, and I'm asking for their vote.
Governor, you talked about in your speech today the importance of foreign policy and correcting what you've seen as mistakes in the administration, and you gave a big speech on that this morning. I think some of your opponents have criticized you for not being as experienced in the foreign policy realm. Is that a challenge to you, and how do you go about convincing voters that you've got the best foreign policy approach?
Well, to me, leadership is the key ingredient to good foreign policy. In my lifetime, Ronald Reagan was the best president when it came to national security. Ronald Reagan was a governor. And so, to me, it's not about the position you hold, but whether or not you've been tested when it comes to leadership. I think out of this field of 17 remarkable and positive candidates, and you're going to hear me say good things about the others, what makes us unique is nobody else has been tested when it comes to leadership the way we have. Americans want to know what the next president's going to be like when it comes to pressure, be it overseas or be it here with doing the right thing for Americans by taking power out of Washington and sending it back to the hardworking taxpayer. There's no one in this race who's faced the kind of challenges we've faced. There's no one who's been tested the way we've been tested. And we passed the test, which is why voters in a Democrat state elected me 3 times in 4 years.
Okay.
Sure.
You're talking about saying nice things about the other candidates as it gets chippier between everybody all the time. I'm wondering where you're coming from with that. Why?
Well, I'm pointing out that the strength of the field, that I'm going to abide by the 11th commandment that Ronald Reagan had. In fact, today I defended one of the other candidates who was under attack from somebody in Washington. And my goal is not to bring others down. My goal is to highlight the strengths I bring to the ticket. That ultimately voters want someone who's been tested. They want someone who's going to make promises but then follow through on them. Others may mean well, but nobody else has gone through the kind of pressure that we have, and not just gone through it, not just won elections, but did the things we did. A good example, almost all, or I believe all the Republican candidates are talking about how they defund Planned Parenthood. That's great, that's wonderful, I said that too. The difference is 4 years ago in a blue state, I did it long before these videos, long before the attention out there. That's a good example when the chips were down, long before it was politically popular. I was out doing the right thing, whether it was on that, taking on the unions, taking on the big government structure, cutting taxes, and all these different areas. Candidates are talking now, and that's wonderful that they've got great goals for being president, but nobody else in this field has been tested under the most difficult of circumstances of anybody else in the field.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.